Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Megan. I'm Kelly.
And we're some of the Veggie boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Are they flying around in there?
Yeah.
Wow, do you like your butterflies?
Yeah, he was in the orange.
Yeah, he was on the orange? Good.
Do you see that? He was slides.
Yeah. Hey everybody, we're just working on finishing up morning chores. We're just about done. Dad's just got to dump in some silage for the cattle and give them their grain. Chickens are taken care of, calves are taken care of. That's the last thing that needs to be done. Many of you know that greenhouse number 6 over there is now completely empty. And now look at greenhouse number 5. Oh, wow. Echo! Echo! The only greenhouse down around back that has anything in it is the largest one down here, greenhouse number 4. And to be honest, there's not much left. We have some tomatoes down here. We have a few different varieties of peppers for sales. We have some watermelon, some cantaloupe, some Thai basil, and that's about it. Ooh, almost forgot the cilantro. I like cilantro. However, when you're looking at this greenhouse as a whole, it's pretty empty. But that's okay, because if you remember in our last video, we were working on getting some mums filled up, and this greenhouse is one of the greenhouses that gets completely filled with mums. So we're gonna need greenhouse number 5 and greenhouse number 4 all cleaned out and ready to go, which they're almost there, and the biggest greenhouse, which that's a little bit more of a task, but we'll get it accomplished. Rather than worrying about those greenhouses though, we need to worry about something that we've been working on for the past few weeks, and that is transplanting. As you've seen, we've got our wagon all filled up and ready to go. We've been working on that quite a bit lately. That's because we want to get it accomplished. Hopefully we can get finished today. We're definitely gonna have to do some transplanting later on. We have some second plantings that are gonna need to go into the soil. But for now, if we can finish our first planting, I'll be happy. Now to finish off our first planting, we have 2 very popular varieties that need to go in. We have some Cubanelle peppers and we have some Italianelle or Italian sweet peppers, and then that's gonna finish it off. These are both sweet frying pepper varieties. They're kind of similar, very, very popular. And as they begin to mature, they get a beautiful color on them. We also have some red deuce tomatoes that are gonna need to go into the soil. And like I said earlier, hopefully this all gets taken care of today. I've got my transplanter buddy right here with me. Are you ready to get done with all these peppers today?
Yeah, I'm ready to get going. Let's get going.
So Callie was down with the horses. Did you just feed the donkeys?
Yes.
What did you feed them?
Food.
Food? Oh, good. Did they eat hay?
No.
What'd they have? Grain?
No.
What'd they have? Chicken?
No.
Did they have steak?
No.
Did they eat hay?
No.
What did they eat?
Something else.
Oh, something else. We're about to get the tractor hooked up to our water wagon, so once everybody is ready, we're gonna be heading back to start planting. Before I do that, I wanted to bring you up into the germination greenhouse and show you that all the tomatoes we had up here are now gone. And the peppers that we have up here are continuing to grow really, really well. Now there's a few things I wanted to talk about with the peppers that we're gonna be putting into the soil, especially our second planting. Now there's a few reasons why we do 2 different plantings of peppers. One is just to extend our harvest to make sure that we have fresh produce for as long as possible. However, if our weather is nice, we don't really need to worry about that because the pepper plants won't slow down in our area until we hit frost. So it is kind of a partial reason for the second planting, but the biggest reason is so that we can have a huge variety of peppers. As our first plantings of bell, Italianelle, Cubanelle, jalapeno, habanero all get finished, or as they get more mature, they're gonna start to produce a lot of red, orange, yellow, some beautiful colors, but we won't have any just plain green peppers anymore. And it seems that the people in our area are always looking for something we don't tend to have. So our second planting helps us to have something that people are looking for. And that special something is green bell peppers, green Italianelle, green Cubanelle, green jalapeno. Basically, any type of pepper, we can have the largest variety possible. And believe me, you think it wouldn't be a problem, but it becomes a problem once your first planting starts to mature a little bit more. And all you have is the colored peppers, but you have no green peppers. So this is one of the biggest reasons why we plant a second planting, just to help combat that issue. But like I said, we try and extend our harvest as possible. A second planting does that. Another thing, planting the second planting helps us to make sure that we have a wide variety of color with our peppers, a wide variety of maturity. And then probably the last and probably reason we least like to talk about is if we had a crop failure with our first planting, we have a second planting available and ready to go. And it may seem not possible for that to happen. We always tend to have good crops. You guys have seen that for the past few years, but it could always happen. And we are just trying to make sure that we're not gonna be put in a bad spot. So having 2 plantings, ooh, it's really helping us out, and it's making us have a little bit of peace of mind. I know we always talk about doing multiple plantings, but we never really discuss the benefits beyond extending the harvest. This right here is our second planting of cucumbers, pickling cucumbers, and zucchini. We got our second planting of peppers. We've done a second planting of tomatoes. We're gonna do a second planting of cabbage, broccoli, kohlrabi, and we're gonna plant some cauliflower. And I just felt like this was a perfect time to explain this to you because we're gonna be heading out, trying to finish off that first planting. And I just like to give a little more insight or a little more information as to why we do a second planting. Now this might not be as necessary in your garden, but if it's something you wanted to try, I would recommend it because it's pretty interesting to follow the plants through their growing stages. Not only do we have the peppers on the wagon, which we're really gonna try and get planted today, but here on the back, we loaded up some of our second planting of plum tomatoes. We were gonna hold off on these, but if we have the single wheel on, might as well get them taken care of. And yes, I will admit, they are a little bit on the tinier side. However, with the growing conditions that we have currently, these should be perfectly fine. Warmer nights, longer days, they both will contribute to these tomatoes just shooting out of the soil. Ah yes, back in our comfy spot on the transplanter. You look pretty excited, Daniel. How excited are you? Woo! All right, calm down. We're just planting tomatoes. Oh, water's cold, ground is cold. Now, if you guys have been watching us do this job for a little bit, you could probably do it by now. What Daniel and I are basically doing, taking the plants out of the trays and then pushing them into the holes that are made by the water wheel transplanter. Now the reason why it's called a water wheel transplanter, as you can see, we've got a wheel that is spinning up there and we have 2 large tanks that are supplying water to it. Now as that wheel spins, it punches holes into this biomulch and then we push the tomatoes into the soil that is left there for us. Thankfully, we have picked all the rocks out of this soil so we're not breaking our fingers as we're pushing in there. But there are some fields that it's a little more difficult to transplant into. So what's nice is the water basically mixes with the soil, creates kind of like a muddy slurry, and we just push the plants down in. And that's basically it. You kind of set it and forget it. We're not adding fertilizer as we're doing this. We will come through later on and foliar feed fertilizer, which is basically added over the top. But for now, they're just going into the soil, and hopefully the good growing conditions will allow them to continue growing. The plants look really nice, so they've already got the best start that they can have. Just finished off the last of the round tomatoes. We are gonna be planting no more round tomatoes for the rest of the year. It's kind of making me sad, but it's okay. We'll be picking them soon enough. I have this thing about all my tomatoes being on the same row, you know? I don't know what it is. This makes me feel better. Now we are on to the plum tomatoes. They are a little tiny. However, like I mentioned earlier, they'll catch right up. It's gonna be no problem. You know, Daniel, I was thinking.
Great.
I was thinking about what my favorite things to pick are. And I think I'm gonna leave tomatoes at the top and then peppers number 2. And then to round it all out, I'm kind of split between pumpkins and cabbage. What do you think?
I think
Pumpkins? It's just, I don't know what it is about harvesting pumpkins. It's just fun.
I don't know.
It's like-
Both of those I sit in the tractor.
Well, that's why you like them.
Yeah. You know what my favorite thing to pick is, Andrew?
What's that? Sweet corn, because you're sitting in the tractor?
Yep.
I don't think you're gonna be able to see it. Well, we got some deer out in the field eating the soybeans. Hey, what are you doing out there? Quit eating my beans! Let's see if this will even work. I don't even know if you can see that. See the deer? Oh, she's running. The deer just recently had her fawns, so we're thinking maybe there's a fawn hiding in the wheat there. We're not gonna yell at her too much, even though she's eating our beans. We'll let her go. We just got another row of tomatoes finished. The plants are looking really nice. Even though they are a little on the smaller side, they don't seem to be too bad. I remember when we did the first planting of tomatoes, they kind of look similar. And when you guys see the tomatoes now, wow, you're gonna be like, wow. I mean, maybe you won't be like, wow. I might be a little different. I get very impressed by tomato growth and pepper growth. I get excited by plant growth. What can I say?
It's okay, Andrew. I'm very excited too.
Woo! As long as I'm not the only one.
Did you bring the driver?
The tomatoes are now all finished off. We are done with transplanting tomatoes into the field for the year, unless Dad surprises me later on, which he's known to have been doing in the past. However, we're gonna get moving on to our peppers, and we're starting off with the Italian sweet peppers. I'm saying sweet peppers, look at these things. More like sweet trees. Oh my word, that's like a 2-foot tall pepper. Yeah, these need to be planted like yesterday, or like 2 yesterdays ago. Now, because we're moving on to peppers, we also need to add our second wheel in, which thankfully we brought it with us, but we didn't bring the driver, so it's gonna take a little bit longer to change the wheel out. But we'll get it done, and then we'll get to planting. We've now got the double wheel put onto our planter, so we're gonna have to go a little bit slower. We're gonna have to use a lot more water, but it's gonna go twice as fast because we're planting double the plants. This is the magic. Now, something that a few of you have noticed in the comments is that these holes are offset, and that's for a good reason. You can get the wheels lined up together. It's not that difficult to do that. However, we like to have them a little bit offset so that there's a little more room around each pepper plant. Now, the spacing on these is technically 15 inches. These are 15-inch wheels, and then we have enough distance between them where we kind of keep that 15-inch range. And the reason for that is so that each plant has enough oxygen around it as it's growing. If you get these plants too close together, as they start to get larger, they are very susceptible to disease. You remember our pepper crop last year? Disease was a big problem. Now, last year it was because of the soil. However, if we have a wet year again, that's the last thing we want to worry about. So we try and make sure that we have plenty of space between each pepper so that we don't get diseases. And also, the peppers have a little more room to soak up nutrients and water. So the 15-inch spacing, you could go a little further than this. However, for the amount of product that we're putting into the ground, if you start to go a little further with your spacing, you need to use a lot more of this biomulch, and you also need to use a lot more water, and it's just not efficient for the situation that we're in. So we like to go with 15-inch spacing. If I was doing it in my garden at home, I'd probably have them a little further apart. But for us here on the farm, it's been working out pretty good this way. Italian L peppers are now all planted. The only thing that we have left is some Cuban L. And with the way we went through the peppers on that last row, these are gonna be done in no time. Hopefully we can finish up before lunch, because I'm getting a little hungry. Well, we've done it. We just finished transplanting. Oh, all the peppers. Sorry, that was a little scary. I just like slid down the hill on my chair. That is gonna finish it off for the first planting of peppers. We finished off all our tomatoes. Oh boy, the last thing we'll be using this planter for will probably be our second planting of peppers.
Don't forget the cucumbers, the pickling cucumbers, Andrew.
Oh, Daniel's right. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, we have the pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, and zucchini on top of the second planting of peppers. The fact that we've gone through all this the past couple days, past couple weeks, has been pretty crazy. We've been super busy with everything else going on. And the fact that we've been able to get it all finished makes you feel pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling happy. Not happy that it's over, happy that we got it done, because now that it's done, we don't need to worry about it. There's the other peppers that we transplanted. There's some eggplant, and here are the tomatoes. Those look absolutely incredible. And as we get up a little further, we have some basil. Then is the watermelon and cantaloupe. And finally, our pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, and some zucchini. And then I guess the peas, but we won't talk about the peas too much. We left the water running, but that's no problem. We need to empty it out anyway. So even though we're gonna be late to lunch, I think we're all pretty happy that we got that finished today. That's one of those jobs that once you get it finished, you're just like, whew, big weight off your shoulders. You know, it's funny, all the people that have ever been out to these fields, they say, I don't think the people that watch the videos realize how much is going on here and how much you really plant. And sometimes I feel like that's true because, I mean, I'm in one field of peppers, and over there's another field of peppers, and we got a third field of peppers. It's gonna be a lot of picking. But you know we're up for the task. Let's see. Ooh, it looks like we're having sandwiches for lunch and chicken noodle soup. Those both are really good. And Grammy said I forgot the star. We got Rice Krispie treats. Oh yeah. Look at the chickens, go look at them. We're now all finished with lunch, and we've had a few jobs here at the home farm that really need to be taken care of. Callie and I are working on some things together. Show them what you got, Callie. Show them what you got.
I got eggs.
Yep, we went and collected the chicken eggs. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't find too many, but we already collected today. Oh, what do you think of the baby chickens? They're getting a little big, aren't they?
Do you want to hold one?
You want me to hold one?
Yeah.
I can try. They're getting a little too big. What do you think?
I got them?
Yeah, go ahead. They're getting big. Watch how fast he runs away. Go, chicken, go. Or don't run away. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hi, buddy. Hello. Hello, little calf.
It's a little cool to play in water today.
It's kind of hard to fit this thing down through here sometimes. One little one. Watch out, Grammy. Beep, beep. We had a few big jobs that needed to be done this afternoon. This is probably the biggest one, making sure that all of these pots get put into place. This greenhouse gets quite a few put into them, and the girls have been planting them as we've been setting them down. We're just trying to stay ahead of the ladies.
Move down. Move down.
All right.
I'm done already. Move down. Move down. Move down. Move down. Move down. Move down.
We just got all our pots put into place in the upper greenhouse. The girls are going through and planting them, and that'll be it for up here. Then we're gonna have to move down over the hill, so we gotta get all our equipment moved around. I don't think we're gonna get started with that today though, because that'll be a pretty big job. But we wanna get as many of these pots filled as possible. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Well, everyone, we just got to the end of the day. We've been working in the greenhouses the whole time, filling pots. Now though, we are closing up the farm market and getting ready to head home. So when I got home, I ended up doing some chores just to make sure that I could take it easy the rest of the night. Got a shower, and the girls had dinner already. We got green beans, and we got some beef stroganoff here. But yeah, mama is doing good, babies are doing good, and we are getting ready to call it for the night. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I'd like to thank everyone for being here. I appreciate everybody that's liking the videos and subscribing. So much. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.